The studio lights of The View beamed brightly as Jennifer Lopez stepped onto the set, her signature confidence radiating through her elegant ensemble, a shimmering gown that caught every camera angle just right. The audience erupted in applause, welcoming the multi-hyphenate star who had built an empire from Bronx streets to global stages, her latest project a blockbuster film that promised to redefine her legacy once more. Joy Behar, ever the sharp-tongued veteran, leaned forward with a mischievous grin, ready to dive into the promotional banter that had become a staple of such appearances, but beneath the surface, tension simmered from recent tabloid frenzy surrounding Lopez's personal life. As Whoopi Goldberg kicked off the segment with warm introductions, the co-hosts Sunny Hostin and Ana Navarro chimed in with praises for Lopez's resilience and talent, setting a seemingly harmonious tone that belied the storm about to brew. Lopez smiled graciously, her eyes sparkling under the lights, thanking the panel for their support amid her whirlwind career highs and lows, but when Behar steered the conversation toward her high-profile marriage to Ben Affleck, the air thickened with unspoken challenges. The viral exchange that had preceded this live moment stemmed from Behar's offhand comment in a previous episode, advising celebrities like Lopez to "keep your mouth shut" about relationships, a quip that exploded online and drew ire from fans who saw it as dismissive of Lopez's openness in her music and interviews. 591 CD 39A02D8 Lopez, known for channeling personal narratives into art like her album This Is Me Now, felt the sting of that remark lingering, and as Behar circled back live, probing with questions about whether oversharing doomed romances, Lopez's composure began to crack ever so slightly. The audience sensed the shift, murmurs rippling through the crowd as Lopez paused, her manicured fingers tightening. With the conversation heating up, Jennifer Lopez leaned into the microphone, her Bronx accent sharpening as she addressed Joy Behar directly, the words tumbling out with a passion that silenced the panel momentarily. "Joy, with all due respect, keeping quiet isn't my style, it's what makes my music resonate, what turns personal pain into power for others facing the same," Lopez declared, her gesture sweeping across the audience who nodded in fervent agreement, many having drawn strength from her anthems of heartbreak and triumph over the years. Behar, unfazed and true to her comedic roots, fired back with a quip about how Lopez's openness might be the kiss of death for relationships, echoing her earlier on-air advice that had gone viral and sparked debates across social media platforms. 72E2FB The exchange turned viral in real time, cameras capturing every furrowed brow and exchanged glance, as Sunny Hostin jumped into champion true love narratives, urging critics to cease the hate, while Ana Navarro likened Lopez to a modern-day icon of romance, addicted to the spotlight of partnership. D1CA5C Lopez, drawing from her storied career, from Selena's portrayal that launched her stardom to her Super Bowl halftime spectacle, emphasized how sharing her journey, flaws and all, humanized her and inspired fans worldwide, rejecting the notion that privacy equated strength. Behar persisted, her eyes twinkling with provocation, questioning if commodifying love through albums and films invited the very scrutiny that now threatened Lopez's privacy, a point that struck at the heart of Lopez's recent projects tied intimately to her reunion with Affleck. The audience gasped as Lopez's voice amplified, erupting into a fervent monologue about the double standards women in entertainment face, how men boast freely about conquests while women are shamed for vulnerability, her hands animated as she painted pictures of resilience forged in public fires. The tension peaked as Jennifer Lopez stood her ground, her posture unyielding under the glaring studio lights, refusing to let Joy Behar's probing diminish the authenticity that defined her illustrious path from dancer to diva. "I've built my career on being real, Joy, not hiding behind closed doors but stepping into the light with every scar and smile," Lopez asserted, her voice carrying the weight of decades in the unforgiving entertainment machine, where every role, from Out of Sight to Hustlers, demanded emotional bear-all performances. Behar, leaning back with a smirk that masked deeper intent, retorted by advising restraint in love's publicity, a stance rooted in her own experiences with divorce and the pitfalls of oversharing, but one that clashed violently with Lopez's ethos of transformation through transparency. 43C5DB The other co-hosts shifted uncomfortably, Sunny defending Lopez's right to artistic freedom while Ana injected levity by comparing her to legendary figures of tumultuous romance, yet the viral exchanges shadow loomed, fueled by Behar's prior "shut up" counsel that had ignited fan backlash online. 621A8B Lopez delved deeper, erupting into stories of her early struggles, the rejection and reinvention that shaped hits like "Jenny from the Block," illustrating how silence would have stifled her voice and left millions without relatable anthems. The audience cheered, phones aloft capturing the moment, as Behar pushed further, questioning if such candor exacerbated personal woes like the Affleck rumors, implying a causal link between publicity and peril that Lopez vehemently denied. In a surge of emotion, Lopez highlighted the hypocrisy in media narratives, where her every move was dissected while male counterparts escaped similar scrutiny, her words resonating as a broader feminist rallying cry. Whoopi interjected with calls for unity, but Lopez's eruption continued, tears streaming as she spoke. Midway through the volatile dialogue, Jennifer Lopez's frustration boiled over, her expressive face contorting with the intensity of someone defending not just her choices but her very identity against Joy Behar's relentless jabs. "You think advising me to shut up helps anyone? It silences the stories that heal," Lopez shot back, invoking her documentary This Is Me. Now where she laid bare the Affleck saga, a bold move that Behar critiqued as self-sabotage in relationships exposed to public glare. D50B1 The studio audience leaned in, captivated by the unfiltered eruption, as Sunny Hostin echoed sentiments of empathy for Lopez's trials, contrasting Behar's pragmatic, keep quiet, philosophy that had previously advised against verbalizing love excessively. 201 CD1 Ana Navarro lightened the mood with quips about Lopez's romantic seriality, but the core conflict raged, Lopez erupting into a passionate defense of vulnerability as her superpower, citing how songs like "Love Don't Cost a Thing" empowered women to demand more from partnerships. Behar countered with tales from her own life, suggesting discretion preserved longevity in marriage, a view clashing with Lopez's belief in art as catharsis, the viral prelude amplifying every barb exchanged. Lopez recounted the backlash from Behar's earlier words, how they trended and hurt, fueling her resolve to erupt live and set the record straight, her voice rising to emphasize the double-edged sword of fame where openness invited both adoration and attack. The host's attempts at balance faltered as Lopez delved into the emotional toll, her eyes misty recalling paparazzi chases and headline horrors that tested her mettle, turning the segment into therapy on air. Fans watching remotely flooded social media with support, the moment's virality ensuring it outlived the episode, as Behar's humor met its match in Lopez's authenticity. As the confrontation intensified, Jennifer Lopez channeled her inner fire, her words slicing through the air like a powerhouse ballad, confronting Joy Behar's insinuations head-on with the ferocity of a performer who's headlined world tours. "My life in the spotlight isn't a choice, it's my craft, and sharing it doesn't doom love, it honors it," Lopez proclaimed, referencing her film's themes of self-discovery amid relational turbulence, directly challenging Behar's narrative that publicity spelled relational ruin. C25259 Whoopi Goldberg nodded sagely, urging perspective, while Sunny and Anna bolstered Lopez's stance on love's complexities. But Behar held firm, reiterating her "mouth shut" mantra born from observing celebrity pitfalls. A viral soundbite now weaponized in this live clash. DCDC 57 The audience's applause punctuated Lopez's eruption, as she wove in anecdotes from her rise, the grit of audition rejections to Grammy nods, underscoring how transparency built her unbreakable bond with fans. Behar probed deeper into Affleck rumors, suggesting Lopez's openness invited invasive speculation, prompting an emotional outpour from the star about balancing motherhood and fame, her voice cracking under the weight of scrutiny. Viral echoes of Behar's advice fueled Lopez's retort, highlighting media bias against women's narratives, turning the exchange into a discourse on gender inequities in Hollywood. The co-hosts interceded variably, but Lopez dominated, erupting into advocacy for mental health through art, her tears authentic as she spoke of therapy's role in her resilience. Social streams lit up with solidarity, the moment's rawness cementing its place in pop culture annals, as Behar conceded with wit but not without pushback. Concluding the segment's core, Lopez's stand illuminated the artist's burden, her live eruption a defiant celebration of voice over silence, captivating all in its path.